Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. This is the Aquarian Goddess Tarot. Today we're going to do a pick a card reading, and what I need you to do is to select one of these decks, one that speaks out the most to you. So either this amethyst crystal, you could also pick which crystal resonates most to you. I think that's also quite powerful. And also this angel quartz, which I just bought the other day. I thought it was so beautiful, especially when I hold it up to the light. It just makes me feel so nice inside. And the question is, what can I expect for the rest of 2019? What is coming my way for the rest of the year? And what do I need to overcome in order to be my full self and be able to greet the new year in the best way possible? So we'll be talking about some challenges. We'll also be talking about what you've accomplished and where you've grown. So yeah, this is going to be the two decks. So take your time, meditate on which one speaks out the most to you. This is going to be deck 1 and this is going to be deck 2. For those of you who are unsure or need a little bit more help in sort of picking out which one resonates more to you, what really helps is if you close your eyes and you take a couple breaths, really connect with your energy, and then once you are at a peaceful moment, you open your eyes. Whichever your eyes are drawn most towards, that is the deck that is for you. This is deck 1 and deck 2. All right, here we go. So we're going to start with deck 1. And if you didn't select deck 1, you could just skip over to the deck 2, which hopefully I'll have timestamp below. All right, so this is the beautiful amethyst crystal. For those that picked deck 1, here we go. Spirits, if you are here, please give us guidance. Tell us what it is that those who picked deck 1 can expect for the rest of 2019. What can they expect for the rest of 2019? Oops, too many. Oh, interesting. All right, let me do this so that you guys can actually see everything. Sorry, that's my phone. Hi, everybody. So sorry about that. And I forgot to silence my phone. Okay, so here are the cards I pulled for those of you that have had deck 1. And as I'm looking at these cards, it just really seems as if you guys had quite a difficult growing year. I wouldn't, yeah, I say difficult is relative, but for those of you who are more in tune with your growth, I think that it has been a very growing year for you. So, because the first card that really pops out to me is the first card that popped out, which is the Hangman. So the Hangman shows a man who is hung upside down with a glowing light of wisdom from behind his head, which means that he's seeing things from a new perspective and he's gaining his wisdom in this way. So, this has been a year in which you have basically started to look at things from another perspective, from another angle, and you will continue to still grow this way until the end of the year because you're going to take time to sort of reflect on everything that it is that you've learned and be able to move on from there into the next course of your life, into 2019, because of what I'm seeing in these next couple cards here. So you have the Five of Swords. So, Five of Swords in the upright shows a young man who is grinning from a victory where his opponents have laid down their swords and walked away. So they're defeated, but he feels smug and happy. But the thing about this is that it's in the reverse, which means that there was some sort of empty victory. Like, even though you've won, it wasn't very, it didn't really bring you that fulfillment. I don't think anybody really does when it comes to conflict with people that they care about or a work situation. Regardless, it still affects you. You know what I mean? I always say that you have to really understand why it is you're fighting if the reason that you're fighting is for an external motive and it's not really internal or something that is authentic or honest. Um, that's why it feels very shallow and unearned. So, but this card is good because it's in the reverse, which means that you're reflecting on it, or somebody is reflecting on it, and there is desire to reconcile. There's desire to move out of this conflict moment. So for the rest of the year, or in the next 2 months or so, well, next month, oh my God, it's almost like the end of November, but there'll be desire to reconcile and to make sure that you guys are coming back together and talking about your differences, ending that conflict before going into the new year. So this fight or this conflict has happened this year, and then in the reverse shows a desire in the energy to reconcile. So remember, what we have is our free will. So if you have the desire to reach out, if that other person is stagnant, or vice versa, I would always encourage you to sort of reach out and take action, because this person, I think both sides really wants to reconcile. So that is for the Five of Swords. And then you also have the Five of Pentacles in reverse. So in the upright, it sort of shows financial poverty, just poverty in general. It doesn't have to be financial. It could be for a number of reasons. It came out in the reverse, which means that you're sort of getting out of some financial hardship. Things are finally looking up at the end of this year. I could definitely resonate with this card. But also it could talk about spiritual poverty. You might be getting everything you want in terms of material goods and, I think sort of the external validations, but you're still feeling like something is missing. So for the rest of the year, I feel like there's exploration and finding out exactly what that is, because there's a part of you missing. That there's something, a gap that needs to be filled. So in order for you to you need to acknowledge that first in order for you to heal and be able to move forward in filling that gap that you feel right now. So could very much correlate with this. You know what I mean? These two could have some sort of correspondence with one another, and it also may not. Remember, I am collecting everybody's collective energies for those who picked deck 1. Take what resonates with you. If it doesn't resonate with you, let it go. Let it flow. And it's interesting because these pentacles, are sort of like right next to each other. Pentacles talks about like career and finances, and you also have the Four of Pentacles in reverse. So, Four of Pentacles in the upright shows this man holding his coins very proudly. He feels very secure. He doesn't want to let them go. Like literally every single limb or part of his body is attached to a coin. It's in the reverse, which means that there were moments of greed or insecurity or inability to let go or to really trust in the universe that it's got your back. So I think in terms of this poverty card, you've been very conscious about your money, you've been very worried about your money, and you basically are sort of entering the rest of the year being like, I really hope 2019 won't be the same way anymore. So you've sort of had this energy, but you really need to get out of it, because the universe is saying that it will take care of you, that you're meant to go through these times and realize that perhaps money isn't the most important thing you should be focusing on. It does exist for us to fulfill our material needs, but at the same time, we need to let go of our ego, right? We need to let go of our ego. We need to let go of feeling like we need to win in a certain way. We need to be accomplished. We need to, be at a certain place in our life or whatever. Like, I think a lot of us have those pressures, but spiritual poverty results to physical poverty. So you got to take care of yourself first. You got to take care of your spirit first. Acknowledge that what you're doing is with pure intention, and the pentacles will flip upright. You know what I mean? So I think so much of these cards, what they're saying so far right now is really taking the rest of the year to meditate on what you've been learning so far this year. Really take this to heart. Reflect on all of this and really be able to learn from what it is that you've learned. Like, oh, maybe you did want to win, but did that winning really give you any sense of fulfillment? It's just stuff to consider as we continue to work on our inner selves and our inner growth. And then you also have the Page of Wands, which is really, really, really great. So there's going to be someone coming into your life, or someone that basically helps you get renewed energy into taking action for 2019. So December is going to be really reflective you know. But then there's also going to be somebody that comes in where they probably arouse your spirit or arouse your motivation into really conquering the next year. It's sort of like leave the past behind. It's going to be a brand new year, and we're going to really get started on something fresh. So this person will sort of spike that energy within you again. And so I love page energy because page energy is just like this young, vibrant, we can do anything sort of energy that I think when we're going through all of this in the year and we're learning to come out of it and we're healing from it and we're reflecting on it, we have somebody that's able to give us, whether it's a conversation or whether it's just a chance meeting or whether it's anything, or an old friend that comes back and gives you new knowledge, an intern that gives you perspective when you've been working in your industry for how many years, you know, it's something really, really great. So be open to it, and you know, I think this will be really great in helping you shift your perspective for how you're going to be growing for the rest of the month and into next year. So let's see what's going to be happening for you in terms of your energy once 2019 comes along. So let's see if the spirits have anything to say about that 2019 mutual energy for deck 1. Awesome. So we have 2 cards. Okay, so you have the World card. That is so beautiful because the World talks about, you know, successful endings, successful closures to things that need to be closed out, and the start of something new. The ability to manifest new dreams, new careers, new anything. The world is at your hands, right? It's going to be a really refreshing new energy. You also have the Emperor card. You know, it's in the reverse, so things might be a little bit scattered in the beginning. You may feel like you're trying to just absorb all of this and make sure that this doesn't happen again or that you've learned from it, you know, and then you also have new opportunities coming in. But it's not a bad thing. I think Emperor is just like just reminding you to really stay stable in your thinking and stay stable in your thoughts, and also remember that life should always have some sort of structure, you know, in order for you to be able to manifest what it is that you want. So when things get exciting, when offers come your way, just be very mindful, you know, about like how you're approaching and how you're reacting to these offers, because our words have power and our words have energy. And whether or not you prosper in something really depends on how you react to the offers being given to you, right? All right. So it's really beautiful, group number 1. I feel like you guys have learned a lot this year. And I think that there's renewed energy, renewed perspective. So I really look forward to hearing what you guys think. Let me know if this resonates with you. And I hope you guys have an amazing rest of the year. And if you choose group 2, that's where we'll be going to right now. All right, everybody. All right, everyone. So this is where you're reading if you chose group 2. Here we go. What can those who have chosen group 2 expect for the rest of 2018? This is a brand new deck, so my shuffling may be a little bit slow on this one. Let's see what they come up with. How exciting. Excited to see what your year has been like and what the rest of the year has been like. Interesting. Really interested to know what's going on with you. Alright, here we go. I have one too many cards, but I'll just take it and see what it is. I'm so sorry, guys. So sorry, my camera cut out. So these cards are a little bit bigger, so I have to like pull them back a little bit. Aren't they beautiful? I just love these cards. I just got them. They're Mystic Mondays by Grace Duong, and they're just super beautiful. This deck really like appealed to me when I first saw it, so I knew that I had to buy it right away. So you guys have really great energy. I mean, you guys have the Ace of Wands, which is talking about starting something new with new fire, new passion. So I think you are really working on, or you guys are really ruminating on something that you really want to take into development. You really want to start something, you know what I mean, that has given you renewed passion for what it is that you want to aspire to do. So for the rest of the year, you're going to be really working on trying to manifest that for next year. So I think for December, yeah, it's just about really planning. You also have the Three of Wands, sort of planning and strategizing on how it is that you can make this come into fruition, whatever this idea you have, whatever this desire you have. And it doesn't have to be career or anything like that. It could also be talking about love, or just making a move on somebody, or whatever it is that you care about, starting a new business, or traveling across country. This is also a travel card. Like wands really talk about movement and travel. And so whatever it is that you've been thinking about, you've been really working on that, and you're going to be working on that even more so for the month of December as we go into the new year. So you're going to be busy planning. You're going to be like, okay, like, how can I make this happen? How can I manifest this? What do I need in order to make my dreams come true? And you have this really abundant energy, because I think for most of the year you've been feeling sort of sluggish. You've been feeling sort of exhausted, and your energy was sort of taken away from you, and the spirits were just like, oh, you need to rest. I think it's important for us to rest, because when we rest, we have clear thinking. So it talks about intellect and clear thought, clarity of mind. So when we don't, our thinking gets cloudy and we can't think properly. But now that this sort of sluggish, or like exhausted energy has sort of left you, you have more wands energy in order to create more for coming into 2019. Yeah, because so much of this year was about, I think you guys were so restless or so overworked, or I'm getting, yeah, you've been so overworked that so much of your energy has been diverted away from you. You've been giving so much to other people. You've been giving so much to other people that you really lacked balance within yourself. And up until the point of sparking this new energy for 2019, it's about you. It's about finding balance within yourself. It's about getting well rested. It's about you coming first rather than other people, because you have so many plans that you have. Oh, sorry, it was actually this way. You have so many dreams you want to aspire to. You have so many plans for the future. And that comes with putting yourself first. It's about not bending over backwards and getting bulldozed over because everybody has all these other expectations of you, but rather manifesting your own dreams and being like, you know what, this is it. Like, it's about me now. It's about me, and I have all of these plans, and I'm going to do great things, and knowing that you can. It's like that quote that they said, whether or not you can or can't, you're right. And then you also have the Two of Swords in reverse. So it talks about this conflict that you may have, and I see how all of these cards sort of tie together. It talks about a choice, right? A choice that you're going to have to make probably by the end of the year, and you're sort of feeling really stuck, and you don't know what to do about it. And you might not make this decision until, by the end of the year. You're going to take some time to process it, because it really affects a lot of people around you. It may be one decision that affects all these other variables in your life. And so I feel like this may be a tower moment that may be coming up in your life, because it feels like it's going to be a major decision. Let's see if we can get more clarity on that. Two of Swords in reverse. Let's clarify Two of Swords in reverse. Does this have anything to do with major two? Does this have to do with major two? These cards are so luscious. Reverse also means that you may be getting closer to making this decision, so that's a good thing. I'm so sorry about that, you guys. Just bear with me as I figure out technology. So, Six of Wands talks about recognition. Wow. Man, I want to be in this read. Like, seriously, I'm like, wow, it's such an exciting, energy. I think this, of course, pile one had a lot of growing pains that they had to go through, but I think for you guys here, it's like a really energetic Wands energy about really conquering next year. Wands talks about recognition. So this Two of Swords may have to deal with a great number of things. whenever recognition and fame or, all of that sort of comes into being, there may be some discourse in your personal life, because that always somehow becomes a thing. Five of Wands in reverse. Yeah. Five of Wands is a conflict card, and it's in the reverse, but then reverse also means that you're getting out of this conflict. I feel like there's definitely some competitive edge. Could be work, could be at home with a partner or with coworkers. There's definitely envy that has to do with this. I don't think it's a bad thing though. It really depends on what it is that you want. Um, I think Lady Gaga said something that said along the lines of success tests relationships. So who will be in your life. I mean, I think that you're so sparked by this idea. You're so sparked by your strategic planning and your desire to move forward on things. It's going to lead to this. It's going to lead to this at the start of next year. You're going to start off the year really well. But of course, that comes with consequence. Just be prepared for this. Just know how to handle it. I don't think this is really that bad, you guys. I mean, the whole point of life is that we go through cycles and that everything ebbs and flows, and we learn to deal with it, and we learn to connect our energy with our words and the way we think and not react, so emotionally to things when people might be just looking to get a reaction out of you, But you're definitely on the right path because you are definitely listening to your intuition, which is what our journeys are all about, I think in life it's all about learning to hone in on your intuition and learning to manifest our destinies, right? Yeah. You're going to be great, group 2. This is really, really beautiful. Look at all this like orange, all this fire, and then all of these beautiful, cool blues, purples. I don't know. But you guys are going to be fine. I'm really excited for what you plan and aspire to do for the rest of the year in order to plan your kickoff into first quarter of next year. And yeah, I think those are the messages that I have for group 2 right now. Let me know if that resonates with you guys. Yeah, no, I need to do this right. Alright guys, so let me know in the comments below if that resonates with you or not. I would love to hear your opinion. This is my first pick a card video, and I hope that you have an amazing rest of the year. I'm going to see, depending on the reactions I get from this video, if I should not do more of these readings, and I hope that you guys have a very blessed day.